Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mukami the environmentalist. Today I'm going to talk to you about the value of a tree. For a long time I've been talking about trees. I've been telling people to plant trees. We have been doing a lot of tree planting. It has even become there's a national tree planting day. But what's the value of trees, or why is everybody who knows about environment is talking about the importance of planting a tree? Why is a trees important? The main reason why the tree or the trees are important is because trees are the easiest, inexpensive way or mechanism to curb climate change, because climate change is real. And what is climate change? Climate change is, just like the name suggests, it is whereby the climate patterns that we are used to, that was a regular routine that we used to know. Now it's time for the short rains, and then the sun, and then the long rains, and then the sun. Now that routine changes, so that now there is not a pattern. So the long rains comes when they're not expected. They either delay before starting or they take longer after starting. Of course, it has its own effect. Like for example, during the long rains, people are planting, and then now the rains delays, but people are not able to plant, or those who plant, the seeds just get wasted. And then by the time the rains are coming, the crops don't do well, especially when it comes to delayed or prolonged rains. Another effect is whereby the rains don't come at all, so that now the place is dry, and we have experienced droughts. Especially here in Kenya, where we have seen people and cattle dying, where we have lost lives, where the rivers have dried, the grass has dried off, and so people are even given relief food. It is very unfortunate. It is very bitter and painful, but those are some of the evidences. Those are some of the indicators of climate change. Another indicator or another evidence of climate change is for example, Mount Kenya. I remember when I was young, I grew up in Laikipia County, where we're facing Mount Kenya. In the morning, if you woke up very early in the morning, the top was always very beautiful, very white. It had the ice, the snows, the glaciers was there, and it looked very beautiful. It was very inspiring, and I loved waking up in the morning before the sun. So now you can imagine the sun is rising from behind the mountain, so you can see the mountain very clearly when the sun is from behind. So the rays, you can see they're coming from the glacier, from the tip of Mount Kenya, and that looked very beautiful. But what we see now, there are only few patches left of ice on top of Mount Kenya. Those are evidences. The ice has melted. Those are evidences of climate change. This indicates climate change can be said it is the variation of temperatures, the atmospheric temperatures, the variation of the average, amount of rainfall in an area, or in the area, or in a certain place, that exceeds a decade. We exceed this effect. This change takes its time, takes more than a decade, and now then it can be classified as climate change. Climate change is very real. And of course, like the example I was just giving about Mount Kenya and the ice disappearing, this comes with its effect, because now the ice melts and flows down into rivers, and now the rivers sooner or later start drying up. The water reduces in the rivers, and the forest, the trees are supposed to retain, are supposed to cover up and retain the moisture of the water, so that the springs can sprout from the forest. Now what happens when the temperatures are very high due to release of the, those gases that warm up the temperatures, the globe, you call them the greenhouse gases. Once they increase and the temperature, the atmospheric temperature increases, and so the water retainment at the base of the forest also starts to decrease. This leads to, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. This reduces the amount of water retained by the forest on the ground. So this reduces the amount of water in the springs that come from those mountains or those forests. And this eventually, during the dry season, it is extreme, the rivers get dry. What happens when the rivers get dry? Water is a resource. Water is a resource that is becoming scarce. I mean the clean water. So downstream, everybody wants a piece of the resource. So as water goes down, people need water for irrigation, people need water to drink, people need water for their animals. Then so you find the upper parts near the forest where they're doing agriculture, they're using the water for irrigation. So as we go down the stream, the volume of water is reducing, and by the time it's getting down, it's already dry, and people down are suffering now. This leads to conflict. You get how conflict come by. Some time it might even be so bad that it causes wars and conflicts, and they get bad. All this is because of climate change. You can relate all problems that you're facing today, you can relate them to climate change. So when I talk about the value of trees in climate change, is because planting a tree, taking care of a tree is very easy. It is very inexpensive. It is not labor intensive. You just need to plant the tree, make sure you weed it and water it until it establishes. Once the root establishes, and now it can be able to take care of itself, you just need to get animals from there, and the tree grows. It is not labor intensive. It does not require a lot of capital to do that. It requires very little, and the impacts of that one tree are going to save you a lot of money, a lot of time indirectly. I understand people destroy the forest, the trees, or we destroy our environment not because we are not worried about the effect, but it's because it is out of ignorance. We don't know. We cannot be able to link how drought comes by the reduction of the number of trees. We cannot be able to link human world conflict with the trees or the forest, the natural resources. But guys, climate change, like I said, is caused by the greenhouse gases. One of them, and very major, and I believe everybody knows about, is carbon dioxide, which is produced in so many processes in our day-to-day life. So much carbon dioxide is produced. What the tree does is that tree takes in the carbon dioxide for its own processing of food, the photosynthesis, that is now gets deep into biology, and it releases oxygen that we breathe. You get? So the trees has a way of taking away the carbon dioxide that is produced and giving us oxygen that we need to live. So now carbon, which is now a threat to our ozone, can be tapped in the trees. That is why forest can be termed as carbon sinks, because you can imagine so many trees take so much carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, so for their own processing, and breaks it down to give us oxygen. So that is why I'm saying, so that we can be able to fight climate change, the way to fight climate change is to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases that we emit into the environment. One way that is very simple and easy, inexpensive, the best you can do is planting a tree, so that this tree is going to help us take away the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, reducing the amount of greenhouse gases, which of course lead to climate change. You see, it is that simple. There are of course many ways to conserve the environment and to reduce climate change, but for me, I'm looking at one that is simple and applicable to anybody, whether they are kids at home, kids in school, a farmer, a teacher. Anybody can plant a tree at some piece of land, public land, church land, schools. There's so many places we can plant a tree. I'm not saying don't cut trees. We need to cut trees because trees are resources and we need them, but utilize them responsibly. Let's plant as we used. Let's plant more. Guys, I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to give the value of a tree in fighting climate change. It is that simple. That is just the basic way, the easiest way I can be able to explain. Of course, the tree comes with so many other added advantages. Trees give us shade, and especially now when it's so hot, all you want to do is walk in shade, assuming there's a road that passes under trees. There are branches on top of the road and you're walking, or you're jogging in the morning. You just want to be there and take your walk slowly, listening to your music, and it feels nice. Trees help you release stress and tension. When you're so stressed, depressed, if you walked through the woods, through the forest, in the green grasses and the vegetable, by the time you're getting out, something has happened. I am not into that. I cannot be able to explain how, but it makes you release the tension or the stress. Maybe a doctor can tell us what that is. In other ways, trees of course give us fruits that we need. Trees give us timber that we need to construct our houses, our furniture, our everything. Tree give us fuel. In the recent research, it is found that a lot of people use fire as their main fuel, main cooking fuel, cooking and lighting, the charcoal. Kama saizi venye baridi imezidi, kila mtu anataka akuwe na kajiko venye anaota. So I'm saying trees give us a lot of benefits. Here I'm just trying to show you how tree planting is going to save this world from climate change. I hope you understand me. I hope I will get you next time to explain to you more about climate change, to explain to you and try to convince you of why you need to plant a tree. I'm not saying you don't cut trees. You need to cut them because you need to use them. But I'm saying use them sustainably, plant more. You see, something funny about climate change. It does not occur within a day. It takes time. Climate change occurs over a period of time. So the effect you're feeling now is not because of what you have done. It's because of what was done by our fathers, the past generation. So we also need to take care of what we are doing, because what we are doing, how we are affecting the climate, the impacts of our action are going to be felt by our generation. And of course, we want to give them a good world. We want to live a world that is beautiful for them to enjoy as we are enjoying this world. So guys, this is Mukami, the environmentalist. I love the environment. It's my passion. And guys, I will see you next. Remember to subscribe. Remember to give it a thumbs up. Remember to leave a comment. Remember to share and subscribe. I love you guys and God bless you.